Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is DB333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, The New Order, Last Days Europe, as the Black League of Omsk. Now, in the last video, we're a little bit more than just the city of Omsk right now. We took over the communist remnants in Tyumen, and we pushed into Sverdlovsk, which was actually very easy. We literally just had to move into Sverdlovsk, and they were done. Which was a little disappointing. Not disappointing, anticlimactic. A little disappointing, too, I guess. I mean, I thought that would be a little bit more suspenseful, but, what are you going to do, I guess. I guess we're going to take over Design Bureau, starting off. Rokossovsky at least had the foresight to prepare for his own inevitable demise. In Sverdlovsk, there stands a new and clearly well-funded R&D facility that was apparently carrying out a variety of interesting and innovative projects prior to our conquest of the city. Now that it is in our hands, we can put it to far better use than a clique of self-aggrandizing officers ever could. The scientists and engineers, soft-spined civilians that they are, have already accepted the Black League's authority and put themselves at our disposal. This is most pleasing to Yazov and a welcome development, but some of the more problematic elements may need to be replaced. Yeah, speaking of problematic, Goring won. Looks like they're finding someone to blame right now. I swear to God, if they throw my boy Speidel under the bus, I'm gonna fucking flip. I'm also waiting for, you know, Hutik to go. Anyway. Sergei lay on his cot in his cell, trying to sleep. It was no use. His head pounded and his body ached. He only ever slept for a few hours at a time. The screams ringing out from deeper in the prison woke him every night. How had they done it? They were madmen, cultists. How could they have defeated the Third Army? How did they do it? The question rattled around in Sergei's head day in and day out, even though it wouldn't make a difference. The light was out. The last bastion had been conquered, and now hope rode with Beethoven his war band, no matter how shriveled that hope had become. He heard steel clanging, the squeal of old hinges, then footsteps pounding towards his cell. His heart smashed against his ribcage. An officer with a nose like the prow of a boat stopped in front of his cell. Sergei Baprov. Yes, Sergei replied, his voice cracking from underuse. Was it finally time for his punishment? The officer pulled an envelope from his breast pocket and slipped it through the bars of Sergei's cell. It floated to the ground. This letter's from Field Marshal Yazov. He addressed it specifically to you. You will have your response prepared by this time tomorrow. The officer turned and left. Sergei snatched up the letter, his whole body shaking. His eyes flickered from line to line, catching bits and pieces of phrases he expected from a letter like this. Betrayal of the Russian nation, obeying traitors' superiors, displayed talent and bravery in the field, and so on. Out of habit, he looked at the final line. His jaw dropped. He sat down on his cot, the letter in his hand, trembling, and read the final line over and over again, trying to make sense out of it. You will have a chance at redemption through service to Russia and the Black League. Service begets blood, and blood begets redemption. There we go. Good sounds dissident. I think we're okay on that front for a while. We can get some more AKs going. Maybe a bit more artillery when we start to upgrade, swap these guys over, we'll be ready. A bit more rifles if we're following that logic, and I guess a bit more CAS. Maybe some fighters too. Let's do some fighters. Oh, we can go ahead and train up some more guys, which I think we will. I want to go ahead and edit their divisions. Go back. Can we replace all these with elite infantry? And do these 7-2s. Oh, Bobby Kennedy. Okay. It's not too bad. I'd take that. In fact, I did that already. If you haven't checked out my U.S. campaign, that's what we did. For the first 4 years, eventually. Then we went over to John Glenn. But it was fun. Oh, we can't change these guys. That's... You can't even disband them, it seems. There we go. There goes my shield. Let's go ahead and change up this template. From that to Blackguard. What do you expect of fucking Germans? The Red-Brown Alliance. They're doing all their fucking focuses. Goddamn. Let's go ahead and have the old Republic crushed. Now the Black League holds Western Siberia in its grasp, the shame of the failed Republic can finally be excised. Across the region, the hammer and sickle is being torn down, while portraits of Rokossovsky and Kaganovich are being piled up and burned. In their place, a black flag and our Glavkurik are raised high, that all the people of Western Siberia might know who rules in perpetuity now. With this, Black League will finally have its hand upon which the motherland will rise as a phoenix from the ashes. Here we shall begin the reforging of the Russian body, mind, and soul into a weapon with which to strike down the German abomination and forever enshrine Russia's place in the world. That's beautiful. How are we doing coring-wise? We got Tiumen cored up, it seems, which is very nice. Ooh, now that might actually be Comey's saving grace. Granted, they're doing a good enough job. Biaka's doing a good enough job, so I don't know how much it's going to matter. Because I don't think... Yeah, they can't core up this stuff, so if they take Syktyvkar, they're done. But anyhow... Let's go ahead and get some loyalty to Comrade Yazov. Yazov is the sole inheritor of General Karbashev's legacy and represents everything that a Russian man should aspire to be. Strong, bold, cunning, ruthless, and zealous. He distinguishes himself from the common man by his willingness to sacrifice absolutely anything to further the revival of the motherland and her dream of vengeance against her hated oppressors. We know all these things to be true, and our brethren must know them as well. The Glavkurik's portrait must adorn every home, and his black banner must fly from every flagpole. Most importantly, those who question this new way of things must be thrown into the streets and put to death. Those who oppose the Azovan League are no better than the Germans. Actually, yeah, Vyatka's kicking ass right now, even with Samara. Though, how long... Their fronts are falling back a little bit, so I don't know how long that will work. But so far, so good. They're very close to taking... They took the capital. That might be enough to get Komi out of this. Defense, if they have a Korangani, they do have a Korangani, so that might keep them in the game a bit longer. But they're moving into Utka, which they have a core on that. So again, how much longer will they be able to keep that up? That's what I'm wondering. Yevgeny woke up at 4:30 a.m., 30 minutes before his shift started. He followed his routine. He cursed the time, pissed, cursed at the cold, dressed themselves, wrapped his fingers in the last piece of gauze he'd had, made a cup of a dark, watery substance he figured was meant to be coffee, drank it, and cursed for taste on the way out the door. The bus stop was a short but frigid walk away. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. The bus was late. When it finally arrived, he climbed on and found a spot near the back. It felt like there was a brick in his stomach. Perhaps by silently begging it to go faster, the bus made it to the factory quicker than usual. It wasn't enough to make up for lost time, though. It shouldn't have been a big deal. 15 minutes wasn't the end of the world. His stomach dropped as he walked in. The assembly line stunk of cheap tobacco and grease. 2 conveyor belts stretched across the room, where they emptied finished butt plates into cardboard boxes. Grigorovic! What the fuck kept you? Oh, God. Yevgeny's boss, a tall, thin man who demanded to be called Nikolaevich, appeared from the shadows and smacked him on the back of the head. Have you no sense of duty to your nation? To your fellow Russian? Get back to work. By the time his shift ended, 14 hours later, Yevgeny was a sweaty, filthy, bleeding mess. The cuts on his fingers had split open again, staining his bandages red. Nikolaevich kicked him in the leg on his way out. Don't be late tomorrow, he growled. Yevgeny cowered and nodded. He limped to the bus stop, nearly missing it, and went home. Rinse and repeat. Good times. Good times. You know, it's his fault that the bus was fucking late. I don't know what to tell you. He deserved it. The state of the infrastructure in western Siberia is beyond wretched. It never saw the benefit of Bukharin's Siberian plan like the central region did. Many of the roads and railways crisscrossing the region go back to the days of the Tsar. Constant German bombings did little to improve the situation. Nor, for that matter, did the incompetence of our enemies. Thankfully, the Bureaucratic has a plan. We don't need the grandiose, excessive construction programs of the Bolsheviks. We need straight, solid highways and reliable railway lines. With no need for civilian transportation, the entirety of our infrastructure network shall be given over to the most practical, efficient means possible. There we go. We got some efficient supply lines going. God, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen, honestly. Well, it's looking better and better for Samara. Okay, Vyatka won. That's big. They just won that. That'll free up their troops. We'll scavenge for loot while we can. Also, we might try to raid, do we want to raid Ugra? I don't know, actually. Got effective supply lines. We'll go ahead and get some dispersed industry going. One of Bukharin's gravest crimes was his utter failure to prepare Russia's industry for war. So much of its concentrated in major cities was easy pickings for German bombers. Mere months after the beginning of the war, arms production was so devastated that many soldiers were forced into battle with only a single rifle and 5 rounds between 3 men. But we know better. We know that, like the Black League itself, every facet of the Russian state must be a many-headed hydra. Concealing our industrial complexes underground is only half the solution. They must also be dispersed, so that even if a complex is destroyed, there will be no collateral damage to the rest of our industrial base. Prepared in this way, we shall never again find ourselves helpless before the foe. There we go. Beautiful indeed. I'm trying to think. Do we want to raid Ugra? I don't think we want to. I think we'll just prepare to. We'll invade them first. Out of the 3. Romanov, what? Okay. And then we got Bandanov, Battle of Barcelona. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, Vyatka's making a pretty solid comeback. Though how long that'll last, I don't know. We lost their arms factory. They took back their capital. How's our industrial base? Let's get horizontal going. few guns, some arty. Let's get a new bureaucracy. Naturally, most of the civilian bureaucrats of Tiumen and Sverdlovsk survived our conquest, but that is of little benefit to us. Pencil pushers accustomed to taking political expedient orders from party men and self-serving generals aren't what we need to run our new ideologically pure bureaucracy. New administrators and clerks will be needed to be elevated, preferably those with no ties to the previous regimes. There are plenty of men unfit for service we can draw upon, as well as women who are presently doing nothing else productive. They can serve the motherland by reorganizing the neglected Siberian lands into a far more conducive to our ends. That's what they're saying. Okay, I can get behind that. Man, this was any other. I don't know who I want to win here. I was thinking Comey would be funny to see win, especially if we go Tabaritsky. They're cracking down the bankers, it seems. With the territories of Tiumen and Sverdlovsk now under control, we must begin reorganizing them in preparation for the Great Trial. The first step requires the creation of a single unified bureaucracy, where there once were two inefficient ones. The power-hungry apparatus and arrogant military officials will be replaced by valiant members of Black League, who will lead the transformation of these areas into iron cogs in our war machine, as well as pacify any seditious elements with extreme prejudice. Where the previous administration failed, we will not only succeed, but excel. The new bureaucracy will serve the League and Russia from the bottom up. There will be League members in every town, hall, police station, and factory. They will collect every kopeck in taxes, deliver every parcel, and govern every oblast. Our control will be total, and must be, or else Russia will never be prepared for the Great Trial. Out with the old, and in with the new. Yeah, man. I'll see what ends up happening there. Pride and Goring. You have Germany in ruins, which is a fun little focus. We got it select. Speaking of focus, let's go ahead and sweep the rest. Though the core lands of Western Siberia are secure, the fringes still lie outside the Black League's control. As a sole legitimate government of Russia, this is unacceptable. We shall begin moving to take those lands as soon as possible. There are 4 so-called states for us to account for: Zlatosk, the free aviators, the bandits of Yugra, and the Soviet remnants inhabiting Vorkuta. Each must fall and have their assets incorporated into the Black League before we begin looking beyond the Urals. There we go. So we can go ahead. I think we'll invest in agricultural methods. I think that's a good move. Oh man, even Cyprus is split up in this timeline. That's interesting. Man. Pakistan is independent. Very interesting. Man, it's so weird to actually see Israel split up in a peaceful way. Go figure that happens in my Omsk game where, you know, we'll see what ends up happening at the end. We'll go with war plan Solovey. Thieves, whores, and gutter rats are all that resides in Yugra and its scattered towns and villages. There's little of worth in the area beyond the city of Ugorsk, and even that's questionable. Reigning over it all, it's a sad excuse for a statelet led by a known scoundrel, Yaba Yoslani. This rogue territory must be swiftly occupied, and its inhabitants dealt with appropriately before their degenerate criminality spreads to our lands. We expect little resistance from the bandit army that watches half-heartedly over Ukraine's borders. They're nothing but press-ganged villagers and jumped-up highwaymen playing as soldiers. No match for cadres of a Black League. So we'll go ahead and go to war with Ugra in, 14 days. There we go. Communist Kazakhstan, interesting. Very interesting. I've been looking at like some of the sub mods that are coming out, and yeah, like the big one is Cold Southern Springs, which looks like an amazing mod, an absolutely incredible mod. And if I have any of you Cold Southern Springs devs who are watching this right now, if you want some, PR, someone to play your mod before it comes out as a little hype thing, hit me up. I'd love to. What else I was talking about? There was another one that was TNO Redux, kind of like Kaiser Redux, that's coming out eventually, and it was supposed to have, some cool stuff to add, like a Nova Polska, and, it's like the wackier side, like wackier Kaiserreich, wackier TNO. And I was kind of interested in playing that one. It turns out, apparently the devs are kind of pieces of shit who dox people, so I don't know how. I don't think I can play that. I don't know how interested I am in playing it anymore. I mean, Nova Polska would be cool, but I might just have to wait for an actual release for it. And I mean, that's just, I mean, they made a post on the TNO Reddit, so I don't know how truthful it is. There might be some mod drama. Might not be true and might totally be true. I don't know. This is not, I don't know for certain. So, I don't know. Novi Port. Vyatka's winning, which is normally pretty fucking blessed, and I'd enjoy to see that most other times, but I gotta kill them. Now they're going after Vologda. Yeah. I really want to play a Vologda game one of these days. I was trying to think of, like, what my canon unifier, like, my canon world would be, and I think it would actually be Vyatka winning. Because I have to think about that a bit more. Indonesian War. We prefer independence with poverty to servitude with plenty. Seco Torre. Shoot, what was I talking about? Crap. But yeah, Vyatka looks really cool. I played a little bit, and the story is pretty solid from what I've gotten into. Just, I knew there were some issues with some of the paths. It basically hard locked you into one of them. And, that's... I don't know if it was the path that I wanted to play. But, what am I going to do next? Let's try to give them an offer they can't refuse. The Free Aviators have our respect. Despite failing to recognize our authority, they worked tirelessly to destroy the German bombers, raining ruin upon our people. No doubt thousands of German airmen have plummeted, screaming it to a fiery death, owing to the ferocity of the Free Aviators. However, no part of Russia can lawfully remain independent of a league, nor can we tolerate the existence of rival governments of any kind. An ultimatum must be sent to the free aviators as soon as possible to demand their immediate surrender. They have little more than a ragtag militia to defend themselves. To refuse us would be madness, and they know it. This is their moment of truth. Are they loyal to communism's lies, or to the one true Russian state? I guess we will wait and see, won't we? Move to Surgut right away. Yeah, Vyaka seems interesting. It's just, I've been doing so many games in West Russia. And I mean, I just came off Samara. Before that, I did 3 different series as Comey. I'm about to do a 4th one once I get 1,000 subs for, Funny Clock Man. So, it's just like, I want to branch out and go somewhere else. I'm just going to go ahead and press them into service. The criminals and unpatriotic peasants who dwell in Ukraine rightfully deserve to be punished, but we have gained so little from the recent campaigns that it seems a waste to just shoot them all. Many of them are fit and able-bodied, even if they've never done an honest day's work for the motherland. The Redemption Brigades could use some fresh meat. Strong backs are always needed to break stones, chop wood, and till the fields. With no records on hand to know the exact crimes of our captives, forcing them to redeem themselves through labor seems the most appropriate and logical solution. That works for me. So yeah, there we go. The free aviators have wisely chosen to serve the one true Russian state. They've accepted all our demands. Our garrison are already moving to secure the area and pacify any resistance. And already the Night Witches are being reorganized to fit with the League command structures. Their unparalleled expertise and renown will no doubt be useful in the future. Even legends kneel. Beautiful. Now all we have is the Merchants of Death in Zlatost. We have to go ahead and integrate Surgut, which we ate them basically for free. It's a little annoying that we do have to go ahead and core them, but that's a bit of a minor thing. But yeah, I'm gonna want to take a break from West Russia. I started recording a game in East Siberia as Magadan. I did a little bit of that. I started that recording before I started this, but I've done more of this lately. I'll eventually hop back in, probably after I finish recording this, and get back to recording that. Because I have thumbnails made for and everything. And then I'm trying to figure out what to do from there. Oh god, they already got fucking Zimbabwe freed with fucking Mugabe. So already kind of cursed. Hutig doesn't have his... That's still a pretty yee-ass haircut. I doubt he's gonna get any bitches on his dick. Oh, Uganda's free too, okay. Yeah, sure. Let's do the Ugorsk prison city. That seems interesting. We have so many undesirables in our nation. With the recent influx from Ugra, we are soon going to have to start shooting people for even minor infractions simply to keep our prisons and redemption brigades from getting overfull. At least that's what we feared. Yazov, as always, has the answer. The city of Ugorsk is of little value strategically, and doesn't have much in the way of industry, but its small size and isolated location makes it easy to control. Roll out some wire fences, put checkpoints on every road and have patrols active around the clock, and it would make an ideal open-air prison. Escapees would have little hopes of survival in the Arctic wilderness. Once they're trapped, who cares what they get up to? That sounds brilliant to me. But yeah. Tactical support. What have we got next auction-wise? Let's get working on organic units. I got a fair bit of that down. Let's get working on some air wings, namely some CAS. I guess some fighters too. Send all these guys over. Eventually we'll do, you know, air superiority. Close air support too. Shoot, we might as well go with Warplan Sadko. We have benefited from the presence of Dragunov and his little republic. He was willing to sell us whatever military hardware we required. Only with his weapons were we able to keep up with our own enemies and ensure that every man had a rifle in hand. And yet we cannot allow Zlatos to continue. It's not merely the fact that it is independent that is a problem. It's also a monument to greed, perfidy, and anti-Russian sentiment. Were Dragunov a man of morals, he would kneel before Gavkorik and offer the entirety of the arsenal in service to Black League. As it is, he continues to defy our authority and desecrate the name of Russians everywhere with his avaricious, venal, and plutocratic ways. We will crush this mockery of a state and give the merchants of death the punishment they deserve. There we go. Go back to normal view. Sorry, Mr. Kalishnikov. We're gonna have to do this to ya. What's our poverty rate? 25 to 50%? Jesus. That's actually good. Man. Rahman stared at the bottom of the bunk above him. The shiv in his hand refused to let him sleep. The two guards paced up and down the row of bunks, their boots clicking on the wood floor. All the pieces were in place. The game ended tonight. He would die, or they would. His heart thumped in anticipation. His breath caught when Igor stood up from his bunk at the other end of the lodge, just as planned. The guard on that end sneered at Igor and drew his gun. Roman gripped his shiv. Roman slid out of bed and threw all of his weight into the second guard. Roman wrestled with him for a few seconds before he plunged the shiv into the guard's neck and held him down until he stopped moving. He stood, his legs weak. The other guard was a bloody pulp on the ground by the time he hobbled over. Igor grabbed the keys and started on the lock. Roman looked around at the other prisoners. You're free now. Go! Run! Die as free men. The marshal is with you. Mucker's lodge was down the road. He was waiting outside, his pudgy face speckled with blood. We have to move. They will hunt us. Quickly now. They ran, scampering through the Vokut lag like rats. Alarms blared all around. Bare feet pounded on gravel. Guards shouted. The hole in the fence was just up ahead. Dogs barked. Gunshots from everywhere and nowhere. Makar pushed Igor aside and dove for the hole. Roman looked around. Flash. He was blind. The searchlight was on them. The loudspeaker screeched in fury. Makar blubbered. The hole was too small for him. Too small for any of them. The game was over. Roman's heart sank. The guards in the tower opened fire and cut the three of them down in less than a second. No one escapes the League. No one. Especially Zlatovsk, am I right, guys? Am I right, ladies, huh? I'm gonna ask all let's see, like, my female audience percentage varies from 0.9% to about 1.4%, if even that. So I'll ask you ladies, all fucking 7 of you watch my videos. Am I right? Anyway, let's go ahead and get some League air wings. Now that the aviators' territory is in our hands, we have the rarest asset in Russia, an Air Force. To be sure, it is not so impressive at the moment. It consists of a motley assortment of aircrafts of 1940s and 1950s vintage, with a decent few jets donated by foreign sponsors. However, a few dozen aircraft is more than most self-proclaimed warlords can muster, and their mere presence lends legitimacy and prestige to our nation. More importantly, we can finally strike our enemies in the same manner that the Germans have been striking us for years. The aviators have a sizable field as their base. Their planes have enough range to strike out far beyond our current borders, though the bases for the aerial cadres now exist time to put it to good use. Let's start. What's going up to now? A refreshing new idea. I mean, sure, I guess you guys can do that. Move in here. I cut these guys off. Yeah, move him there. Let them exhaust themselves there. And we got a guy dead. Beautiful. Now they're making a few pushes, but we can go ahead and make some pushes back. They seem to be pretty well equipped in general. My back's starting to kill me. What the hell? Stop these guys from pushing in. And Circlement's a bit of an issue now. But they left their capital open, so that kind of evens things out. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is up with this new front line they're doing. Can we just move in with this guy and take him out? Because that would be hilarious if we could just do that. Get some better industrial bases going. Let's work on, yeah, that. About to say, did we already finish it? Vyatka is about to finish up. The Imperial flag over West Russia. The Emperor's return, but for how long? That's a question. Damn it, that was a very fun idea that we could have done. It was a good shot. See if we can't get that guy out of there. Fuck! God damn it. There. The AI is not as incompetent as I shit on it for being, I gotta say. It is actually occasionally capable of not being bad. Or being better than me, which isn't saying that much, to be fair. Oh, fuck. That wouldn't have been enough either way, so I don't know. Oh. He will remember his legacy. Let's try to move there. Take that guy out. Now we got 2 more to replace them. It doesn't matter. They died in service of the motherland. That's how I'd want to go. So we'll have these guys chill out a little bit. Reorganize these front lines. You chill out, pal. Old palo buddy. Let's see. How are you guys doing? Doing some air superiority. What about these guys? How's the cast doing? They're doing close air support. They're working a little bit. You know, they're trying. Can we trick the AI at all to just... Okay, they're exerting themselves. That's good. That's good. Not quite good enough, though. I think our best bet is probably get a couple angles of attack at this point. There's only so much more we can do. We could ask for military access with Zlatoust, actually. That might be a... It's an interesting strategy. And we'll just have to push in. Oh shit, the AI freed Ireland too, man. The AI is actually doing some okay shit this game. I'm impressed. Integrate Zlatoust. Move upwards. Let's crack open the armories. Our scouts have reported incredible signs in Zlatoust and Nizhny Tagil. Artillery pieces, trucks, rocket launchers, and all manner of non-combat equipment. Dragunov could have armed half of the population of Omsk, but instead he hoarded this wealth of weaponry away from his own profit. For his own profit. Well, the Black League is no band of money-grubbing merchants, and Yazov is no oligarch masquerading as a politician. We shall strip the cities of the former republic bare, until every bullet is accounted for and placed in the hands of a trained and capable soldier of the cadres. Weapons should be on the battlefield, not the gathering dust in a depot. Now I can get behind all that. In fact, let's field some more guns for big, beautiful armies that'll be coming up soon. In fact, let's get some more recruits for that big, beautiful army. Let's go ahead and seize our assets too while we're here. Zlatoust was not just a merchant republic, it was also an industrial hub. The Zlatoust arms plant is most famous of its assets, but there are dozens of arm factories producing everything from AKs to howitzers scattered throughout the foothills of the Ural Mountains. As of all industry in our nation, arms production is essential, and therefore these factories fall under the sole jurisdiction of Black League. The corrupt plutocrats who run them will be turfed out and sentenced to serve in the Redemptionary Brigades, while the workforce shall be re-educated and then put back to work producing arms for the cadres. With this industrial center secured, our military supremacy is all but assured. Oh man, we already have better industrial equipment. And we're... what? 4 years in? That's not bad. Now our poverty rate is fucking horrible, but you know... that's what they get for being fucking poor, I guess. Okay, okay, Vlad, you wanna stop sucking, Vlad? You wanna stop sucking, buddy? And it's stuff like this that makes me realize the AI is shit, still. Next, let's go ahead and do War Plan Koshai. In the frigid north, damned souls toil away in the old gulags, forever being punished on behalf of a government that no longer exists. Watching over them is remnants of the old Soviet prison system and the NKVD, ghost of the old order. Trapped in the same frozen hell as their charges. Purely of their own volition. They are dead men walking, but they defy us all the same, and must be subjugated. Access to the Arctic Sea is of questionable value to us, but the gulags may be of some use. The NKVD is also likely retain many useful records. And the men themselves might also serve us well once their military wing is broken, and their commander consigned to a shallow grave. Yeah. Offensive lines. We don't need to do that much. They don't even have... they have a shitty militia. That's really about it. We can go ahead and take Vorkuta, and then if Vorkuta doesn't do it, I don't know what will. I guess it'll have to be Usinsk. That great hub of, the great hub of Usinsk, as we all know. One of the great cities of Russia. Moscow, St. Petersburg, Vladivostok, was it? Usinsk. How's this guy doing for infantry leader? He's getting there. Not quickly, but he's getting there eventually. Let's go ahead and do a few things first, before we do anything. As our men sweep over the Arctic plains, the infamously dreadful Vorkuta gulags have come under our administration. The dark complexes of watchtowers, gloomy barracks, and labor camps strike a trembling fear in these icy wastes. The unbelievable torture of natural prison serves as a reminder of the wickedness of man. The enemy's men lay scattered across the countryside, buried in debris and torn to pieces by machine gun fire. With blood freshly painted on dark brick walls, the smell of gunpowder was thick, and the silence after battle was deafening. We were in a place of immense suffering. Whilst many of our men broke down doors to scurry in and rummage for loot, others lowered their weapons to gaze at the daunting sight that dwarfed them. The gulag is largely preserved from war. However, this does pose a question. Are we to close that site down forever, and let it remain a relic of our barbarous past? Or must we plunge our hands in the dirty realities of war, so that Russia may live on? Hey, sometimes great men do awful things. And with that, we can integrate Vorkuta. Where are we? Scattered news has escaped the waste of West Siberia, whispering of a shadowy Black League's unification of the region, an apparent breakaway of a defunct West Siberian People's Republic. The Black League's mission statement is to rebuild Russia in order to protect the people from further German aggression. With the League's founder, Dmitry Karbashev, dead shortly before the outbreak of a German civil war, his student Dmitry Yazov now leads the young statelet. Promising a return to pre-war quality of life, Yazov enjoys great popularity, and his military reforms suggest a strong emphasis on the reunification of Russia. With the League back to the Urals, and with Central Siberia seemingly looming ever closer, the future of the region seems uncertain and turbulent. Ominous indeed. Well, we did well today, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I can say. And I'm afraid we're going to have to cut it here, especially because it's almost 1 a.m. and I got to wake up at 8 tomorrow. Though I nap, so hopefully it won't be too bad when I wake up. But yeah, I got to cut it here. So thank you as always for watching, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this video, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content in the future, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for more uploads every weekday, as well as every Saturday. If you have any comments, feedback, concerns, anything of the sort, leave in the comment section below. I read all the comments I get and appreciate any all feedback you might have for me. If you want to chat, play games, anything of the sort, I have a Discord down link below. If you want to send a few bucks my way, I have a Patreon. If you want to watch me do Swords of Life, I have a Twitch. All of those are down in the description box below. Thank you as always for watching, ladies and gentlemen. My name has been DB333. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.